Here's the deal. I've spent thousands on top tier gear, and maybe you have too, or you'd like to. But before you move that one item over to your cart, I might be able to save you some money. In this video, I'm gonna show you my go-to favorite gear. And these are the staples like camera, tripod, lens, as a solo filmmaker. After using these items for months or even years, I feel like I have a good idea of where I should have saved money. And to keep things clear, we're gonna keep a tally of the price tags I spent, but also where I truly believe I could have saved without losing quality or even the financial return they've now made me. That's what we're gonna dive into. All right, we're gonna kick this off with what I think is a heater. It's this Peak Design travel tripod. Really epic, built strong, will last you, can take it all over. I think I was originally inspired by Danny Gevirtz to buy this because he went all around and used it heavily and it looked perfect. Here's the issue, my use case, I've only used it a handful of times. And the price tag does not fit only a handful of uses. It's not cheap. And when you look at the other options, which are all under 200 bucks, for me, I wish I went that route. This is a huge item I just don't use very often. If I'm packing a minimalist travel kit, I don't even bring a tripod. I know in my head, I'm gonna just throw the camera if I'm hiking up on some rocks, or I'm gonna plop it on the ground, or I'm gonna put it on some books. That's usually my route because this thing is pretty heavy. So yes, it's a great tripod, but for the amount of use, it was a bit of a bummer, and it is a bit of a bummer. So please think first, are you actually going to set your camera up on a tripod that has a different base plate than the Manfrotto or the normal base plate, and over do this thing, each individual leg, and set it up and get your one shot and put it back together? Be honest with yourself, because I was not, and I bought this. Awesome tripod, but for me, it just didn't get much use. So that would be a nice savings. Number two, and before I get too far, I know these are all hot takes and I might get bashed in the comments, but we are talking budget savings. This tally, I think you're gonna be impressed by how much money you could save with a very, very similar kit. So here we go. Hot take number two, the FX3. We're recording with it right now. It's an incredible camera. No doubt in my mind, you'll love it if you get it. But the A7S III has the same sensor and a firmware update you should check out, a recent one that people are really talking about. But that's like a $700 savings. Maybe it's not worth it. I don't know, I haven't used it, but I have seen people use the A7S III. It's the same sensor. You can get the same looks, S-Log3, grade the same stuff. I really think I should have done that. Save the money, a little bit of money. And honestly, with that 700 bucks at the time, I put it in Bitcoin, it would have quadrupled or whatever it was when I got this camera. But the video is not based on those type of investments. But that $700 savings probably would have been helpful for me. I'm not gonna dig too deep because I know people are gonna start just bashing, but I think there's something to be said about that extra savings with a very similar camera, especially if you're just getting into this. Ask anyone that has an A7S III, they're like, yeah, the image is great. Maybe the form factor isn't the best, but neither is the FX3. It has a couple rigging points, but you put a cage on these cameras anyway. Don't forget that. All right, I gotta move on from this one. I didn't wanna go too into detail, but that could be a huge savings, so we're gonna add it to the tally. All right, here's our next one. It is these GMaster lenses. I have what we're shooting on is the 24-70 2.8, and then this is the 70-200 2.8 GMaster. These are the first Mark 1. They came out with 2, and point is, Sigma makes the same lenses. And Billy from Showtech made the point of, well, if you're gonna put cheap ND filters, which is spoiler alert, that comes later on, but I've talked about that in a video before, then you're kind of defeating the purpose of the glass. And why don't you just get cheaper lenses if you're gonna ruin them with cheap ND filters? Well, that does make sense. So the savings with getting the same exact 24-70 2.8 Sigma lenses versus the GMaster lenses is a few $100s for each lens. So we're gonna add that to the tally. I think you can get the same quality. If you can tell the difference, you should click off this video and go to someone way more talented than me if you can truly tell the difference. Even after all the color grading adjustments you can make, and everyone, even my boy Danny Gravertz, who I always talk about, if you're not subscribed to him, you should go subscribe. I think he's just the best on YouTube. He's throwing all sorts of halation and grain on top of his images to dirty him up and add character. So that perfect GMaster lens, does it really matter? That's all I'm saying. So a few $100s, we're adding that to the tally. Most of these are minimal quality adjustments. We're right in line. Now this one I can't speak to too much on the quality because I just simply don't understand it yet, but that's my point. So here we go. This is the Sennheiser 416. It is a epic mic. I love it, people love it. Here's the deal though. I haven't really even got into audio enough to understand what it can do. Yeah, it's a great mic and it's around $1,000. Maybe now it's a little less, but I got it for $1,000. And it's kind of wasted in my hands because I just don't know audio. I just do really, really minor adjustments that I think sound good, but there's one guy that always says, come over and we can help you with your audio a little bit. And I haven't yet and I need to. But point being, my audio is not to the level that this mic can get me. So an alternative, it's the Sennheiser MKE 600. The reason I think that one would be worth it for me is because it's about half the size. Now, as I'm traveling and loading this in my backpack, this gets a little big, a little wonky. And when it's on top, when it's mounted on the FX3, it's a little long. So my point being is, and let me double up. Here is the wireless microphone that I'm using right now. It's on my shirt, it's on the camera, wireless mics. It's the same point I'm making, small, less expensive, and I don't know how to really mix and master audio anyway. The biggest point I wanna make with this type of stuff is I bought this one to grow into it. I think after the 2 years I've had it, the MKE 600, half the size would have been way more useful for me. I could have brought it more places than this one, even though this is a better mic. And then my point is, your DJI and your Rode wireless mics, they're great. They really are, especially now that you can get mics with 32-bit float. I know that is important, so you don't clip your audio. You can never clip it, basically. But as someone who's just not good with audio, and we're talking about these wireless mics, anything under, which those ones are expensive-ish, but this one's $100. Those ones are maybe 400. I'll make sure I have it on the video. Anything can happen when you just when you're clipping mics. I mean, that's gonna happen if it's a $400 mic or this mic. So if you're out in the field and you're just trying to mic someone up and it's not the end of the world, especially with this more mobile content creation, you already know it's not gonna be great. So saving $300, maybe that's worth it. All right. I don't want to talk too much about audio. Get me in trouble really is what's gonna happen. So those are some of my basic points. I don't know what I'm doing in the audio world anyway, so maybe save some money until you learn. And then with this one, size matters. Okay. My last point is filters. First off, if you were just getting into this video, just camera world, slow down on the filters. That, maybe I'm just speaking to myself. That one's just for me. Justice, slow down. So these are some filters. This is the K&F concept filter that's on this lens right now. It's a 1 to 9 stop variable ND filter. It's about $90. I originally bought both of the Polar Pro 2 to 5 and 3 to 6 stop ND filters. And you might be able to buy them in combo and save a little bit, but by themselves, they're $250 per each one. So you're gonna spend around $500 for those filters versus $90. That's a huge difference. If you're just getting into this, I urge you, don't do it. Simple as that. If you're a pro, sure, go for it. But I still would love to go head to head, your filters versus mine, your image versus mine with those Polar Pro filters. Let's just try it. Maybe you whoop my butt. Maybe you're able to create an image that just bounds, leaps and bounds better. But let's maybe bring the client in the room and see what the client says. A client, whoever it is, anyone. My mom, she can't tell. All right, I shouldn't talk about my mom like that. Filters, that's going to be a huge blow to our budget in a good way. I bought them, I returned them. I ended up going with these, protection, and I just realized there's something. Oh, I do have a visual. This one I think is the newer one, a newer KNF model that I have for this lens, and then I have the one that's on there. Oh, because these are a different filter thread. This is a 77 millimeter, and that's an 82 millimeter filter. So, oh, they just want to take your money. That's what's going to happen. Everyone in the filmmaking industry, if they make a product, they want your money. They don't want to provide real value. They want to take your money. Whoa, that was a lot. Sorry, let's check out the savings. I'm going to put it on the screen. That is just for you. Obviously, I can't make your decisions for you. If that number, if that's worth it to you, awesome. If it's not, either way, do what's best, what has the most impact. But remember, your story is what is going to drive your products. And delivering a video for a client needs to be marketed the right way, or else the video is gonna go flat. You could make the best movie and put it on a dead website, and just don't think it's gonna get out there, unless you're John Bellion. He's been doing some pretty, but he already had the platform. I hope this was helpful. If it was, would you mind subscribing? That would mean the world to me. I'm really trying to grow this thing and get better and better and provide real value. I made this video because it truly is what I would have loved to see before I bought all this stuff. I'm gonna put affiliate links below. Use them, don't use them. They're there. They do really help me if you want to use them. If you're tight for money and you're thinking, man, I could use that extra few dollars or 30 cents, whatever, I don't care. Message me. If you're gonna buy one of these things, use my affiliate link. Let me give you that kickback. If it's a big expense, maybe it'll be a few dollars, I'll give it back to you. I'll Venmo you. I know these things are huge investments, but I'm excited for you to get started and get into it because I know you can do it. Just, you're in the right place. You're on my YouTube channel. Maybe you're a little misled. There are others who are better, but you're in the right place. You're trying to learn. You're trying to make smart decisions, and I know you can do it. You're putting in the effort. You'll get the result you want. So thanks for watching. It's always fun making these videos here. Man, I got myself a little pumped up there. I don't know why. All right, I'll see you later. Woo.